just pray, spend a lot of time praying. And I just kind of found that my heart really just felt drawn towards like other nations, especially Japan, and like even in the wake of this disaster. I just really wanted to go and experience firsthand kind of a country that's not accustomed to a Christian religion and not even any religion really, and just be able to do whatever I can to change that. So it's hard to describe it as anything other than just a really strong feeling that I had to go. But that only comes out of just praying about it and asking God.
And how long were you there for?
I was there for 2 weeks, 14 days. So yeah. Yeah, so right over Christmas and New Year's.
Okay. And what were give us some of like the highlights from that time, whether it's just kind of culturally things that you experienced or what you actually did, or
I mean, I think one of the things that really stood out to me, we were distributing food to temporary housing. So the people whose homes got wiped out in the tsunami, they're living in these kind of makeshift shelters that the government threw together real quick. And so they don't have very much. There's no jobs in the area for them. All their cars were destroyed, so they really don't have any source of income. So we were out distributing food to the people in these shelters. And it was just amazing. The people were just brought to tears, more by the fact that we had come from the United States just to help them in whatever way we can. And there's one woman who was she would follow us around the whole way, make sure everyone got food, and so at the end we just asked, like, can we pray for you? And so we all circled up and put our hands on our shoulders. I didn't really know what was being said because it was all in Japanese, but it was just really moving just to see us be able to do that for them.
What were some of the cultural differences that were attractive to you?
I thought it was cool how much they embraced technology. It almost seemed a little bit too much, where they would begin to like divert things that humans can do. They would instead do technology. But it was, as an engineer, like the infrastructure there, and just the they had like 3-story highways. I thought that was really cool. Like a highway on top of a highway on top of a highway. Just the sheer magnitude of the cities was cool. So the culture there is very individualistic. It doesn't seem like people really care too much about those around them, unless family ties are strong. But besides that, it's all about yourself and your own status.
Well, going on a trip like that, a lot of people say, going on a mission trip is you can give, but it's really what God has done in you too. So what would you say would be some of those things that you feel like God's done in you?
Well, I just, before the trip, I was like really worried. Mostly, I was just kind of nervous that like I wouldn't have anything to share. Like I just felt like I was insignificant. Like I didn't really have anything to tell people. But by the end of the trip, there was one time we had the opportunity to share in a church on Christmas Day. We all took time to share, and I spoke a little bit about just how I was trying to be more intentional with my relationships at college. And afterwards, one of the women in the church there came up to me and told me that like what I said, like really, she felt like I was speaking right to her, and she was kind of torn, like she didn't know if she wanted to go to seminary or something. And then she said she heard me speaking, she just knew that she had to go to seminary. So it was just cool to see that I could touch someone's lives in that way, and that was really just by the grace of God and His power that it allows you to speak and move in people's hearts, not by your own power, but so everyone has something to contribute. Great.